Wait till he get a belt.
Yeah.
He ain't did nothing in the welterweight today.
You
When
have
he get
did
a belt,
nothing.
when he
You
get a
have
belt,
did
you want to
You
go
have
over
did
there. Keith Thurman want to go over there, and now y'all want to say, "Oh, I ain't fought nobody," but I got a belt now, so why?
Okay. Sean Porter got a belt too.
So now
Sean Porter got a belt too. Sean Porter. So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out? So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out?
So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out? So why am I go to easy road and you not Sean Porter out?
Who mans is this? Get him the fuck out of here.
So what I do, YouTube? It's your boy King David in this thing, and I'm back at y'all again with another video. Okay, so before we get going on the video, man, y'all know what to do. Go ahead, hit the like button, and if you're new here, be sure to subscribe one time for your boy, so we can continue to grow like we need to grow on this channel. You know what I mean? Alright, so with all that out the window, man, y'all see what the title of the video is. Why can't Errol Spence spin the block? You know what I mean? Why can't the man spin the block? You know, when you mention this to an Errol Spence fan, I mean, these dudes come up with all kinds of excuses. I mean, the excuse now is, oh, if Bud would have signed a contract, he would have never had to spin the block in the first place, right? Which is a deflection at the end of the day. And also isn't true because, I mean, we ain't got to go over it, but let's just talk about the fact that Bud Crawford had to accept a lowball, trash ass deal in order to get this fight done. Let's just talk about the fact that these dudes stalled out the fight, sending the first draft in August when they started talking in June and May. Let's just talk about the fact that these dudes changed the date from 2022 on to 2023 after Bud has been out of the ring almost a year, and now would be a year and 6 months now that Errol Spence got into this quote unquote accident where his leg hurt, right? But aside from all that, a lot of Errol Spence fans like to deflect from this very point, but at the end of the day, deflections aside, it still leaves us with the question: why isn't Errol Spence spinning the block? Why isn't he spinning the block, y'all? Why? You know what I mean? First, the man said he would spin the block, right? He said he would, right? So, if Errol Spence is a man of his word, like a lot of you Errol Spence fans say he's a man of his word, which, you know, the real boxing fans know he's not. But if he's a man of his word, like you Errol Spence fans say he's a man of his word, then why isn't he spinning the block like he said he would do? Right? Now all we hearing is all these excuses and all these reasons as to why he can't spin the block, right? Oh, well, I don't like the way Bud did business. He hurt my feelings. He hurt my feelings. He took a fight and he hurt my feelings. Ain't you the same nigga that took the easy route? Ain't you the same nigga that decided to take 4 fights before he got in the ring with a Terrence Bud Crawford? Aren't you the same nigga that paid Stanionis step aside money so you can get in the ring with Ugas, but you mad at Bud Crawford for taking a fight after being out of the ring an entire year after waiting on you? But I know what you fanboys are gonna say. You're gonna say, well, Bud got a fight. Why can't Earl get a fight? Why can't he get a tune-up fight? Because the nigga said he don't need no tune-ups. That's why, right? Why take a fight other than the biggest fight in boxing? Other than the fight that everybody wants to see? Other than the fight that would solidify your career as a real motherfucking fighter? But if that ain't enough, why not take a fight that's gonna pay you the most amount of money you've ever seen in your life? I mean, Bud came to the table with $50 million, right? But if that ain't enough, Errol Spence got the opportunity to become the undisputed welterweight champion of the world. Isn't that what he said he wanted to do? Didn't he say, I'm going to collect all my belts on my side of the street, and then I'm going to come over there and I'm going to take his shit because I want to be the undisputed champion of the world? Isn't that what Errol Spence said? Isn't that what the goal is at the end of the day? I mean, according to you Errol Spence fangirls, the reason why he had to collect all his belts on his side of the street before fighting that Terrence Bud Crawford was because it was going to make for the biggest fight ever, right? It makes the fight so much bigger if it's for undisputed. Undisputed is what we want. Undisputed is what we need. But now that Errol Spence got the opportunity to become undisputed, all of a sudden, it's some other shit. Oh, I know you got to fight Keith Thurman, right? You got to fight Keith Thurman because he's your mandatory, right? The same Keith Thurman that's only fought one time in 3 years. The same Keith Thurman that fought Mario Barrios. You know, the 140 pounder who was the WBA regular champion at 140. Didn't even have the WBC belt, but the WBA belt. But somehow fought in a eliminator for the WBC belt to become a mandatory, right? That Mario Barrios. Y'all know the guy who's never had a fight at 147 pounds before he fought Keith Thurman in this quote unquote eliminator. I mean, that ain't sketchy at all. No, not at all. Sounds perfectly legit, right? Sounds perfectly legit. That ain't sketchy at all. But this is the guy that you gotta fight. This is the guy that Errol Spence gotta fight. The guy who somehow ended up in a mandatory position, who Errol Spence said out of his mouth he would never fight, right? He has to fight this guy over Terrence Bud Crawford, the guy who he said he would spin the block to fight, the guy who he said he would collect all his belts on his side of the street in order to get in the ring, right? Only so he can fight Keith Thurman and complain about the weight and go against his word on 2 occasions, by 1, not spinning the block, and by 2, fighting a guy who he said he would never fight, right? But according to the Spence fangirls, Errol Spence is such a man of his word. He's such a man of his word. But again, I asked the question that nobody seems to be able to answer. Why can't Errol Spence spin the block like he said he was gonna do? I mean, Bud's available in April. Earl's available in April. What's the problem? Why aren't we negotiating? Why aren't we making this fight? Right? But this is the guy that Bud Crawford's supposed to wait all this time to fight. Bud Crawford was supposed to wait on the easy route. He was supposed to go get a belt. He's supposed to take 60-40, 70-30, 80-20. He's supposed to cross the street, leave his promoter, cross the street over to the PBC side, also he can get the fight with an Errol Spence Jr. Right? But here he is right now, willing and able to make the fight with an Errol Spence Jr. But Errol Spence, for some reason, placing yet another barrier in the way of the fight. Because there's absolutely no reason why this fight shouldn't happen next. Absolutely no reason. Right? But you fanboys are going to try to justify it, right? You're going to try to come up with all these reasons for why Errol Spence shouldn't fight Bud Crawford next. Oh, he already got an agreement with Thurman. He already got an agreement with Thurman. He had an agreement with Bud too and then changed the date to 2023. Right? But hold up, King David. If Errol doesn't fight Thurman next, he's going to get stripped. But I thought unification fights took precedence over mandatories. So would he actually get stripped for fighting in a unification fight? Right? Would the WBC really be the only person to stand in the way of a Terrence Bud Crawford versus Errol Spence fight happening next? I think not. Right? So again, I asked the question, why isn't Errol Spence spinning the block? Why, oh why? Because the only reason that I can think of why he can't spin the block is that he don't want to fight. Like what me and a lot of other dudes have been saying for the longest. He don't want to fight. Never wanted to fight, never will want to fight. And that's all there is to it. But let me know what you dudes think about this shit, man. Hit it up in the comment section below. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe. And everybody, and I do mean everybody, be sure to hit that goddamn like button on your way out, man. But until next time, man, I'm gonna holler at y'all. Peace.
That's what happened as soon as you stop your challenge. That's what happened there.
Hey, listen. My thing is, who number one in the welterweight division now?